So hello everyone, my name is Karina Wolf. I'm a technical support engineer at iSpring. And today I'm going to show you how to create an interactive workbook with photos, videos, and quizzes from a boring alt-text document or website in just half an hour. And once you've finished, you can post the workbook on your institution's website or upload it to your distance learning system or send it to your colleagues and students by email. So today I will tell you how to turn a plain text document into an electronic workbook, how to use interactive workbooks to increase the effectiveness of learning and make it more engaging, how to create quizzes to test knowledge, and how to share a ready-made interactive workbook with students to monitor their progress. So before we start, let me quickly tell you about the tool we're going to use today. Our flagship product, iSpring Suite Max, has two major components, the desktop software and the cloud component, iSpring Cloud. iSpring Cloud is an online course builder and a sharing service that works a bit like Google Drive, where you can publish your courses and share them with your colleagues for review or even with your employees for them to take. Taking e-learning software online has opened up brand new opportunities for design, collaboration, and showcasing e-learning projects. Okay, so let me open iSpring Cloud and show you how you can use it. So I will click on the iSpring Suite icon on my desktop. And now I'll go to the Pages tab. And to create a new page, I'll just click on where it says Create. And now let me quickly sign into the account. A page opened up. Let me move it here. All right. So the development process takes place online, right in a browser, and doesn't require the installation of any programs. So first, let's see what we have here. On the left, you can see the outline of the future workbook. Here you can add chapters to your workbook and edit them. And here we have the main editing section. And in the upper part of the screen, you can see different options like settings, export, and add collaborators that you're going to use after you're done creating the course. So today we'll create a workbook on Nobel Prizes. In fact, it could be any other topic. I've chosen this one as an example because the website on Nobel Prizes has a variety of multimedia resources that I can use for my worksheet. So let's see what we have on this website. So let's imagine that we want our students to know what the latest scientific findings are, and we decide to tell them about last year's Nobel Prize winners. So first, let's make an introduction slide. To kick off, we can add a cover. So I'll just click cover image. And now I'll need to find the picture for the cover. Okay, here it is. Click open. Or you can also add GIF images. I think a GIF would be more impressive than a simple image, so I'll upload a new background. I'll just click on Change, select the GIF, click Open. Perfect. Now let's add a title. I'll just copy the title from here and paste it into the workbook. Perfect. Now, to let our students know that it's a workbook, we can also add a tag. So I'll just go ahead and add a tag. And below the cover, I want to add a short introduction from the website. I'll make it look like a quote. So let's go back to our website. I'll just copy this and paste it in here. And now we can change how the text is displayed on the page. So I'll just click here, change to, and you can select between the two options. I'll just go with the first one. Great. Next, let's add info about Nobel Prize winners. I'll show you how to create a chapter on the physics laureates as an example. So let's add one more chapter. And now we'll add a title for this chapter, the Nobel Prize in Physics. Add it here. Then I want to add photos and names of the laureates. To do that, I'll just click on their photos on the website. Let me go here and click on where it says copy image and then paste it into the workbook. So now I have to do this 2 more times. So stretch out and get comfortable. Now we'll just copy the picture of the second laureate, paste it in the workbook, and do the same with the last one. Copy image, paste it in the workbook. Great. And now I'll need to drag these images in one row. To do this, I'll just select the second image and drag it to the first one, and do the same with the third one. Now they're presented in a row. Then I want to add names of the laureates. So for this, I will just need to click on the T letter. And we can see that now we can add captions. So let's go back to our website, and I'll just copy the names of the laureates to the workbook. And do the same with the other two. Okay, the last one here. So as you can see, I copied some of the names with a link to the website, to the bio of this person. So you can paste it like that, and your students will be able to read the bio through the link. Or if you want to include the bios in the workbook, you can also use flashcards. Flashcards are actually an excellent way to make the e-learning process more engaging and enjoyable. You can add images, questions, or interesting facts on one side and definitions or answers on the back of the card. So for example, let's add laureates photos on one side, and on the other, I'll add their short bios. So to insert a flashcard, I'll just click on an empty space in the workbook, click on the plus icon, and then click flashcards. Here it is. Sorry. To add photos, I'll need to upload them from my computer. So here I have some default text, but I want to change it to a picture instead. So I click on where it says text and change it to image. And now I can add images of the laureates. So let's just do it. And the second one and the third one. Great. So now we can add their bios. For this, I will need to flip the cards. And to flip the cards, we'll just need to click on where it says front. And now we can add their bios. I'll just copy it from the document like this. Do the same with the second one. And the last one. And paste it in here. And you can also change the size of the font. So by clicking on auto, you can easily select the font that you would like to use. So now let's preview the workbook to see how it will look like for our students. So I'll just click preview and go to the second chapter with the laureates. And here are the photos, and here are our flashcards, and users can read their bios by clicking on the picture. All right, let's go back to our workbook. So for this, I will just stick with flashcards. So let me quickly delete the photos above. Okay, great. So now let's add a summary note below the photos. here I'll show you another text formatting. I've already shown you a quote, and now let's see what a callout looks like. Let me go back to the website, go to summary. I'll copy this text from the website, paste it in the workbook, and now let's change it to callout. So as you can see, it's also a great way to highlight the important information. The callout has a background and an icon that marks the type of a text. So here we have an info icon, but you can always change the icon here. And you can also change the colors. Let me change the colors of the background and the icon to yellow. Great. Next, I want to show you how you can insert a video. The website about Nobel Prizes has a page with ready-made lessons. Here we have an interview that explains the meaning of the laureate's research. So let me just copy the link to the video and paste it into our workbook. And now we'll need to click on where it says Create Embed. And as you can see, the video is now embedded into the workbook. So learners will be able to watch the video right here without any redirect to a new window in their browser. And let me mention that we recently had an update that lets you upload a video right from your computer. So now I want to show you how you can add additional resources for your learners if they want to dive deeper into the topic. You can upload an attachment, for example, a PDF file. Again, let's turn back to our website. Let me just go back here. So here we have a PDF file. I'll just click on where it says slideshow, and now the file is downloaded on my computer. I'll just open downloads in the browser and drag the PDF file into the workbook like this. So, sorry, at the bottom of this page, I'll also note where the resources are taken from. So I'll just type in the resources are taken from, and I'll insert a link to the website with the video and the PDF file. Great. So now let's add one more chapter, and I can show you how to add a quiz. First, let's add a title. I'll just name it quiz. And let me show you which question types we've got here. First, we need to click on the plus icon and then click quiz. So we added some new question types along existing multiple choice, multiple response, and short answer. Now, course creators can assess employee knowledge with matching and sequence questions in quizzes. I'm sure you're all familiar with matching questions. You can use them to have your learners match words with their definitions, authors with quotes, or dates with events. So you get the idea. Sequence questions require learners to arrange elements in the correct order, which is useful for testing knowledge of processes or things like that. So you can create questions yourself, or you can create them using iSpring AI. iSpring AI can generate questions for tests and exercises based on the material that you feed into it. It also can refine text, spark course ideas, highlight key points, create engaging headings, and generate lists. That's the power of iSpring AI. It simplifies this content creation. Just type in your prompt or copy and paste the text, and it's done. So now let's see it in action. I will close out of the quiz. So if you already have the text of a chapter or a single lesson that you want to create a quiz based on, you can just copy and paste the text to a page. So let me just copy the text, paste it in the workbook. And now we'll need to highlight the text, click on where it says AI, and then click Generate Questions. Okay, let me do this one more time. Select the text, click iSpring AI and click Generate Questions. All right, might take one more try. Okay, great. So you see, iSpring AI offers you options. You may not find all the questions and answer choices perfect, but you can edit them, and it's definitely a huge time saver. And of course, iSpring AI indicates the correct answers too. So let's click continue and then click to a new quiz, click save. So here's our quiz. We can open it up, and here we can see a quiz editor, and we can set the title screen. You can add pictures here, as well as a description and some instructions. Also, you can hide it by clicking on the eye icon in the top right corner. Then you can add a question. Also, you can add a custom feedback for correct or incorrect answer choices. And you can also add pictures to your questions. And now I will move on to the results slide. Here you can add the feedback that your learners will get at the end of the quiz. And lastly, we can change the overall settings for our quizzes. To do this, click on the settings icon at the bottom of the editor. So here you can set the number of attempts, the passing score. You can shuffle questions, set a time limit, etc. And once you're done, just click on where it says done. And now I will just remove the first quiz and the text from here. Okay. Okay, it looks like our workbook is now ready. And now let's change the overall settings for it. To do that, we'll need to click on the gear icon in the top right corner. So first, we'll set up a design for our course. We'll go to the Design tab and select the accent color. I think the blue matches the design of our pictures, and here we can also change the font of all our text in the workbook. I'll just set Open Sans for the heading and the body text. Now, let's go to the Main tab, and here we'll enable sequential order for this course, so learners won't skip any important content. And I will also enable scoring. So select quiz scores. Okay, so it looks like we're done. Let's click on save and let's preview our workbook. So as you can see, if learners will try to go to the third chapter from the outline, they won't be able to, since they have to go through the workbook chapter by chapter, since there is a sequential order. So the last thing that I want to show you is how you can share a course with your students or colleagues. For this, you will need to click on where it says share at the top of the menu, and then enable make viewable by a link. And then you can copy this link and send it to your colleagues or students. And you can also copy the embed code and insert it into your website or blog to embed the material on the needed page. This way, access to the material is open to everyone, and they don't even have to have access to your account. And once the workbook is done, you can also export it to SCORM 2004, SCORM 1.2, or XAP. To do this, you will just need to click on where it says Export at the top. And then in LMS profile, you can select the desired format from the drop-down menu, and then click Export. And iSpring Cloud will start converting your workbook into the selected format. And then you can upload this file to Moodle or any other LMS that supports this formats. So that's all I wanted to show you in iSpring Cloud. And in just 30 minutes, we created a workbook, and I think that it looks great. How do you find it? Let me know in the chat, please. And now I'm ready to answer your questions.
All right, Katarina. Karina, pardon me. I am so sorry. I will be happy to help you with organizing the Q&A session. And I would like to remind you that it's absolutely our pleasure to answer your questions here. Maybe it would be a good idea to remind our participants to please leave their questions in the chat, because so far I do not see any of the questions. However, I would like to ask a question on my own, if that's okay.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Super. So, Karina, when we are organizing such kind of workbooks in the examples that you have shared with us, what do you feel are probably the biggest challenges that not so much of experienced creators like you, but more of beginning creators face? So, would you like to just go briefly through some of those?
Sure. Yes. Thank you for your question. I'll just need some time to think over, and so let me just think a little bit.
Absolutely. Maybe you can think of some of the ideas that you have experienced when you were talking to your clients, or basically when they were sharing with you that it's been so hard and they ask for your help. I'm sorry, I don't hear you, Karina.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, now all is good.
Okay, so what comes to my mind is that whenever someone starts working with a new software, whether it's a desktop software or an online service like iSpring Cloud, is that you obviously don't know the functionality of the software. You don't know where to click to create something that you want to create in using this tool. And yeah, so basically, mainly what our clients reach out for help to us with is that they want to share the project with their colleagues or students, but they don't know how to do that.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. That's crystal clear. And there are a couple of questions that we have from the audience. Akara is asking, is there a way to do a table of contents at the start of the workbook?
The table of contents, sure, you can actually place text basically in columns in your workbooks. So there is an option to create columns.
Okay. Okay. Got you. Is there also an option for flip books with the iSpring?
You can create flipbooks with iSpring Suite, yes, but not in iSpring Cloud. Yes, flipbooks can be created with iSpring Suite using the desktop software.
Okay, super. There is another question from Shaji. To my understanding, iSpring Suite Max will work with Microsoft PowerPoint, but in the live presentation, the presenter is using a web interface to demonstrate. Will it work this way for a subscriber?
Yes, it will.
Yeah. All right. Super. Thank you very much. And there is a follow-up question on the table of contents, if that's okay. Would the table of contents or column text link to pages?
So you can insert like basically links in the columns. So you can link it to a website or an article. Yes.
Okay, super, fantastic. And also, Karina, would you like to suggest us maybe some sort of, let's say, first step recommendation to a person who has never been doing workbooks before, but they've just watched your presentation with us right now? Is there any quick tip that you would like to give them to start with?
Sure. Maybe I think online you can find a lot of like ideas how you can arrange your content in workbooks. I think for me, basically, I'm like when I see something, it's easier for me to create something new based on what like an example. So I would just look up an example of people who usually create workbooks online, and then I would create something um, based on this on my own in iSpring Cloud.
Okay. Thank you, Karina. Well, I think then that will be it, and we'll be moving on to our next presenter. I appreciate all the information that you have shared. Thank you so very much.